Welcome back to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast. I, of course, am your host, KC Phoenix. This is for the new moon in Cancer, which happened yesterday for July the 17th. I had to think for a second. It's a little bit later at night now. So, yeah, I actually wasn't sure if I was about to record this, but then I told myself, I was like, if I don't record it now, it may not get done. So I'm like, let me go ahead and get in here and do it. So, since this is a collective reading, it is for everyone. However, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, don't try to make it fit. I'm just a person here reading energy and tarot cards. You know your story better than I ever could. Now, this particular reading, because it isn't about the material. Even though, let me bring out this card right quick. This was at the bottom of the deck, which is the Nine of Hedgehogs. I'm using the Alice in Wonderland deck. The hedgehogs are pentacles, so Nine of Pentacles. This is always a good card to have. Again, I always check the bottom of the deck when I pick a deck. And something called me to this deck, and this was at the bottom of the Nine of Pentacles. Obviously, of course, independence, stability, entrepreneurship. Pentacles dealing with the 3D. So health, money, home, job, so on and so forth, everything in the 3D. Also, I heard that some of you are, if you're not in good health, you're on your way to getting in good health, like obtaining a very healthy level. Some of you are very healthy right now. Also, some of you are really focused on food too. Again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But it's not about that. It really, really isn't. It's not about the material. This particular energy is about reflection, is what it is. Because don't forget, Cancer is a water sign. So dealing with the home, dealing with emotion, intuition, and also reflection. Water reflects. That is the energy here. Now, for one of the decks, this is a new one. This is not a traditional oracle or tarot deck. And for those who have been following me, listening to the podcast for a while, and shout out to definitely my podcast listeners, especially the Spotify crew. All of you have been rocking with me hard, and I appreciate that. Thank you for that support. Also, thank you to everyone else on all the other platforms that have been consuming the podcast. So, this particular deck, which is called So, it's like a collection of questions for deeper discussions. And I'll pick random decks sometimes because if I feel I can incorporate it into the reading, then I'll incorporate it into the reading. And when I was reading some of the questions before purchasing this, I'm like, this would go great for a reading. So here we are. Heart of the Matter was a very interesting question, which also highlights reflection. The question is, what would your 10-year-old self think of your person, of your present self? What would your 10-year-old self think of your present self? And that is going back to the reflection thing. I feel like for some of you, you might be thinking, especially since it's the summer, you think of high schools, graduations, and stuff like that. And some of you might be thinking back about when you graduated from high school because you're looking back and the time goes by. And for me, I don't know where the time went. You know, somebody told me when I was younger, when I was in high school, she had said, she's like, enjoy this time now because she said after your 20s, time just goes by. And she is right. I can't believe it. This June, it will have been 26 years since I graduated from high school. 26 years since I graduated from high school, which is crazy to me. I'm just like, are you kidding me? But yeah, so it's one of those things where people are reflecting. They might be thinking about high school, whether they were in high school 5 years, 10 years, 26 years ago. It may just cross their mind like, okay, did I accomplish some of the things that I meant to accomplish when I left high school? Or have I accomplished some of the things that I meant to accomplish in general? Now, for this, I feel you want more. The Page of Flowers, which is Wands in this deck, the Page of Flowers came out obviously about having that enthusiasm, looking to do something different. Some of you may be embarking on something different. I don't know why. I just heard something about a nature trail. I don't know if it's, not even the flowers are doing that. I don't know why nature trail is whatever. So yeah, you're doing new things. You're embarking on new stuff. And I also feel like for some of you, now is the time to go after that thing. For others of you, I kind of feel like you think it passed you by. The reason I'm saying that is because also the Two of Pentacles, Two of Hedgehogs came out. And Wands is fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Pentacles is earth energy, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. You could be dealing with those signs or have them in your chart. With the hedgehog, with the two, making a choice. I feel like for some of you, if you had it to do over again, you would have made a different choice. Like when you had the opportunity to go down a certain path, go on a certain adventure, I feel like for some of you, you chose not to. I feel also for some of you, you played it safe. There is a thing where someone may just go ahead and juggle. I just heard something about dipping your toes in the water. So I think somebody's about to test the water with something. Maybe it's with this Page of Wands, with the trying something new or testing the waters in regards to something else. But I specifically heard dipping your toe in the water. Maybe that's going back to the thing on the nature trail. I don't know what that is about. I feel like there's something with water. So either a lake, a river, or something. I don't know. But yeah, you know better than me. Now, two of the other cards that showed up in the reading from my high vibe deck. The first card is, see, this flow, water. There's something going on with water. Okay, it says flow. The more you resist the current of change, the harder the current pushes. If you hold on to the grass on the side of the river, not wanting to move, you will be battered by the strong current. If you float in the middle of the river, the current is gentle and you float easily downstream. Aim for the path of least resistance. Go with the flow. So for some of you, you're learning how to flow, or you need to learn how to flow and do that. For others of you, I feel like there may be something more here to this in a physical way. Again, I feel like there's something with water. Is somebody learning how to swim? Maybe that's what that's about, dipping the toe, because I specifically heard dipping the toe in the water. Is that one of the things like back in the day you wish you learned how to swim, and then now you're actually trying it, like time has passed and you're like, okay, I think I want to learn how to swim now, or something like that? Let me know in the comments, please, if that's resonating with you, because it's something about water. All right, now the other card says salt and pepper. It says gently jump up and down. Shake up the mixture of energy that is within you. Imagine heavy dark pepper as negative energy releasing from every crevice of your body. Allow it to fall into the earth to be recycled. Pepper represents the thoughts and feelings that do not serve you. It is heavy energy that has hosted the pain in your body or the problems in the day you just experienced. Now the pepper is gone. Imagine lighter salt coming down from above, filling you with light, happy energy, which moves into the space once filled by pepper. Notice how you feel. So, to give you the short version of all of this that was written, you're switching out the energy. It's almost like when you inhale, exhale, you're inhaling the good energy, you're exhaling the bad energy. This is saying where you're moving around and shaking things up, shaking your energy up. You're imagining yourself dropping the negative energy and keeping the positive energy. That's what this is talking about for that. And it's also talking about move too, as well, like move around. There's another card in the deck that also discusses that, which is hula hoop. And for that particular one, it says, swing your hips as if you were using a hula hoop. Start by going clockwise, then go counterclockwise, then make figure eights. Do this for 1 minute. This movement will bring your energy down from your head and into your body, increasing your creative energy. So hula hoop. It is not saying you have to have an actual hula hoop. This is more pretending. But again, what it's saying is that you need to move. You need to get the energy. Because I just heard stationary. Some of you might be stationary a good bit. And you need to make that conscious effort to move around more to keep the energy flowing within your body. And I mean, that's advice that even I can take as well, because I work from home and I sit down in front of computers a lot. So yeah, this is saying that you need to move that energy around. You need to get it going also so you can get the creative juices flowing. So your body needs to move to activate everything within you, the creativity. All right, now let's get to some more questions. A card that came out here on the outside, it said, okay. Now, this is for romance. This question is for romance. It says, what flaws would you be okay with in a romantic partner? What flaws would you be okay with in a romantic partner? Now, we'll take it back to the heart of the matter. With the Two of Pentacles and the Page of Wands, because romance-wise, these two can be interpreted many ways. Now, with the Page of Wands, this is a young energy. This is an enthusiastic energy. Some of you, the question you might be asking yourself, and this has come up in a few readings, the age. Would you be willing to date someone that is younger than you? Or older? Would you be willing to do that? Also, children might be a thing, too, when it comes to flaws. Some people see someone having a child as a flaw. I know people who are like, no, I won't date someone with a child. But what if they're a really good person? What if they would make a really great partner? You'll still say no because they have a child? What are some of the flaws that you could deal with in a romantic partner? What is one of the flaws you could deal with in a romantic partner? And I would say what I've always said. I've been consistent throughout that. Lots of things are subjective. Where one person might see having a kid as a flaw, another person might consider it an asset. Because there are also people who would love to have kids, but they don't want to have them. So a female that deals with a man with a child, she's like, okay, well now I don't have to worry about him trying to knock me up and have a baby. So, you know, what works for one may not work for the other and vice versa. But what flaw can you deal with? Could you deal with someone who snores? These are the things that you may be thinking about. Could you deal with someone, I just heard this in my head because of this Page of Wands. Could you deal with someone that's not passionate? That would be a flaw to me. Someone who's not passionate about the relationship or not passionate about you, but they want to be in a relationship, but it's more from an intellectual standpoint. It's more from a companionship standpoint. More of, well, we're just roommates, but we're not lovers type of energy. Could you deal with that? Just throwing it out there. All right, and let's do this other question. It says, come up with a new Olympic sport in which you would definitely win the medal. Come up with and they have a typo on here. Come up with an Olympic sport in which you would definitely win the medal. So that is more for fun. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have, imagine we all had to start over on Mars, and you were responsible for choosing who gets to be part of Humanity 2.0. How would you decide on who to accept? So in other words, if we were to start over on Mars and you were in charge of who would be on Mars, how would you decide on who to accept for Humanity 2.0? So you would be the arbiter. And something just said to me, for this new life, because don't forget it's a new moon. So new moons are a chance to start over, no matter what sign it's in. And interestingly enough, the transformation card came out. And again, this is going back to the heart of the matter, where you are looking over at your life, looking back, reflecting, and seeing the things that you've done and the things that you haven't done, and things that maybe you want to do differently. This transformation card, which is the death card, Scorpio energy, this is saying you have the ability to do that. Going back to the bottom of the deck where it was talking about it's up to you to decide what Humanity 2.0 is on this Mars colonization effort. You get to make the decisions. That is also the message I'm also getting, is that that's the same thing for your life. You don't have to hold on to the past because you are the writer of your story. I was going to say the arbiter, but you're the writer of your story. So if you don't want to write old people into your new story, you do not have to. If you want to let everything go after this transformation, you have the ability to do that because it's your story. It is up to you. Again, you get to make the decision. Just like with the Mars Humanity 2.0 thing. It's kind of interesting how that ties together. Now, also, we have Shazami. And it says, what words tickle your fancy? Pull them out, say them, and play with them. Shazami. So this is just saying, have a good time. Goof off with stuff. I was doing that when I was on a walk a few days ago because I was trying to come up with a name for a project I'm working on, and I just made up the most outrageous name. And I was like, you know what? That is so outrageous. I think I might try it. So, yeah, it's just like, have a good time. Don't take things so seriously as well. I believe that some of you, there's nothing wrong with having high standards. I actually encourage it. The thing is that it's okay to take a break from that and then jump back in. Some people, they just stay in that energy. And it's not good. You have to have balance. That's what a lot of things are about. I was thinking about that earlier. You have to balance things. Now, at the bottom of the tarot deck, we have the Three of Flowers, which is the Three of Wands. Usually talking about ships coming in. Also, things happening because of a result of what you've done in the past. And making a decision. Now, for some of you, there may be something involving the home. Maybe that is your starting over. Whereas something a little bit different. Because 3 + 1 is 4. So there may be something with the home. Also with the Queen of Swords, which is the Queen of Spears in this deck. With the Queen of Swords, there may be some contracts involved. Could be legal. Or it's just you being very direct about what you want. Now, again, going back to the passion thing where maybe some of you have not been as passionate about things as you should have been. The Queen of Swords isn't, I feel like I said Queen of Wands earlier. If I did, I meant Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords, air energy, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, specifically Libra, is not really a passionate individual. But the Queen of Swords is very determined and is very effective and is very clear. I feel something just said to me. I just heard this in my head. For some of you, the reflection thing that's going on is you're auditing what you've done over your life and looking back at like, oh, these were some good times, or oh, these were okay times, or so-so times, or not so good times. Something said to me that this Queen of Swords energy is you having a real conversation with yourself. That's what I had heard. For some of you, it's you having a real conversation with yourself. The Queen of Swords isn't about fluff. The Queen of Swords is about very much seeing the situation for what it is and not looking at things through rose-colored glasses. I also feel, too, that this conversation will be the, I guess you could say, the spark for some of you that gets you on the right track as well, if that makes sense. So, yeah, this is more of just looking back and reflecting is what this energy is. Thinking about the home, because as I said, 3 + 1 is the 4 of Wands. Some of you might be reflecting on the home, thinking about past memories in the home, or thinking of moving to another home. I feel like that might be a big thing. But honestly, I don't feel this is about the material. I feel that this is just about the life that has happened thus far. That's what I feel this is about. This emotion is about. This energy is about. All right. So everyone, that is your message. Also, all of the readings are up for July, finally. So the general readings are up for all of the signs. The money readings are up for all of the signs. The love readings are up for all of the signs. Also, Cancers, July is your birthday season. So you receive bonuses for every single reading. So you have a total of 6 readings for this month. I plan to start the August readings hopefully this coming weekend. Since that will be Leo season, Leo, you will get a birthday bonus as well. All right, so that is your message, everyone. Until next time, be blessed.